Hey guys, welcome back to Philip's Hot Rod Garage. Well guys, it's 91 degrees, sun shining, it's time for more sandblasting. Well, I blasted till it ran out of daylight. It's pretty dark now, but I want to keep blasting, so maybe these lights right here work. We'll see. See if we can get some blasting done in the dark now. Y'all not gonna believe this. I was out there sandblasting in the dark, trying to get it done, and look at that. Yep, it started raining on me. Started thundering, lightning off in the distance. Next thing you know, it's raining. So guys, I guarantee you that sandblasting was a whole lot more work than what it just looked like in this video. Now some of you may be wondering about the quarter panels and all, why I'm not blasting that now. Well look, I think I'm just gonna take them off. I can pull this rivet out right here. There's an old bolt in here that, it's not even holding it. But that rivet on each side, I believe, other than a few little, let's see, little nails right here, nothing to those. Other than those few nails and those two rivets, one on each side, I think that is all that's holding the quarter panels onto the car. Other than these little tack welds that I put on there. But I think I'm gonna cut the tack welds loose, grind those rivets off, and just take the whole rear section off the body. Or off, at least off the front section. I think that'll be a whole lot easier to get those quarter panels cleaned up with them off the car. So I'll take the quarters off, then I'll take this panel loose. It bolts together right in here. So that panel will be separate. The two quarters will be separate. The panel that goes below the trunk, I've got a new one. So I'll take that out. And this piece right down here, take that off. Everything will come apart. I'll clean all that stuff separate and then put it all back together. You might be able to see I got a little bit of flash rusting that's already started in some places. That was probably where we touched the car. If you touch it with it bare metal, it's going to rust pretty quick. But that's no problem. All that'll sand off. I still got to take 80 grit sandpaper on a DA. There's going to be also some hand sanding that has to be done. I'm going to have to sand all this with 80 grit. Everything that's been blasted so that the epoxy will stick. That's what's recommended with epoxy primers. When you sandblast, it's recommended to sand everything with 80 grit, clean it all real good with grease and wax remover, and then apply the epoxy. So what I got to do now is I got to get started sanding all these parts down, getting ready for the epoxy. I'm not in a hurry to get the quarter panels off just yet. So what I'm planning on doing is, I'm planning on right here, tape the car up from here back, and I'm gonna prime from here forward. The back of the door opening forward, I'm gonna prime all this. Once I get all that primed and protected, all the metal work on the whole front section of the car will be completely done. Then I'll be able to get started back on my frame. So I need that cowl section completely put together so I can establish the width of the frame rails at the cowl right here. Because as I've told you in a previous video, I want the sides of the frame right in this area to be even with the sides of the cowl. And this is what I'm talking about. I just stuck the cowl side on so you can see. I want this flush right here. Flush all the way down. So without having that cowl put together, there's no way that I can determine exactly where this goes. So if you look at my previous videos, you see that my cowl was so rusty, I had no way of knowing where to put those frame rails. So I'll be fabricating on the frame, and I'll be fabricating on these rear sub rails. See where I've got them cut out? Got to put those curved sub rails in there. So I need to leave those quarter panels on so I can continue fabricating. So yeah, put the cowl completely together, leave the quarter panels on, get the doors fit back on there, put it back on the frame, and get back on fabrication on the frame. That's the plan. All right, guys, so everything is ready to start prepping for primer except for this driver's side subrail extension. This is the only piece that I have left to do any work on. I've got just a few minutes of work to do on this. I'm gonna get this done and I'm gonna start prepping this stuff for primer. And hopefully in the next video, we're spraying primer on some of this stuff so I can start the cowl assembly. All right, this thing is looking good. I'm super proud of how it's coming along. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe, click the like button, share with some folks you know. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.